Rain poured heavily on the quiet streets of South London. Headlights cut through the fog as Liam gripped the steering wheel, his heart pounding like a drum. Beside him, Amelia sat still, her hands trembling on her lap. Neither of them spoke. The sound of the rain filled the silence, steady, endless, almost mocking. Liam's jacket was soaked with blood. It wasn't his. "Liam," Amelia whispered finally, her voice breaking. "Tell me we didn't just ruin everything." He didn't answer. His eyes were glassy, fixed on the road ahead. "Liam, please say something." He swallowed hard. "I didn't mean to hurt him." Amelia covered her mouth, tears spilling. "That was my dad." The car fell silent again. The rain only grew louder. Earlier that evening, it had been months since Liam last saw her. Months since she'd walked out of his life after finding out about his past, about the fight that sent him to prison years ago. He never thought she'd call again. But she did. Her voice was soft, tired, like someone who'd been fighting too long. "Liam, can we talk? Just once more." They met in a small café near Waterloo, the same café where they'd first met 2 years ago, when he was just a barista, and she was the girl who always smiled at him from the corner seat. Now, she looked different, quieter, paler. She wore a beige coat, her hair tied neatly back, but her eyes carried a sadness he'd never seen before. "Thank you for coming," she said. He nodded, sitting opposite her. "You sounded like you needed to talk." "I do," she whispered. "Liam, I'm sorry. For everything." He looked down at his coffee. "You left without letting me explain." "I know." She hesitated. "My parents found out. They said if I didn't end things, they'd cut me off completely. I was scared." Liam nodded slowly. "And now?" She sighed. "Now I don't care anymore. I've spent months pretending I'm fine, but I'm not." Her voice trembled. "I miss you, Liam." He looked up, eyes tired but soft. "You shouldn't. I can't help it." They walked along the river after closing, London lights glowing against the wet pavement. She told him about her new job, how empty her house felt, how everything seemed pointless without him. For the first time in months, he laughed. And so did she. When they stopped under a bridge to hide from the rain, she turned to him and whispered, "Can we start again?" He didn't think. He just kissed her. It felt like coming home. But the sound of a car door slamming made them both pull apart. Amelia froze. Oh no! A tall man in a black coat stepped out from across the street. Her father. Edward Hartwell, wealthy, powerful, cold. He walked straight toward them, fury in his eyes. "What is this?" he barked. "Dad, please," Amelia said, stepping forward. "Just listen. I told you to stay away from him." His voice was sharp. "You think you can drag our family name through the mud because of some ex-con?" Liam's jaw tightened. "Sir, with all due respect. Don't you dare speak to me," Edward snapped. "You don't belong near her. Not now, not ever." Amelia tried to hold her father back. "Dad, stop," but he shoved her arm away. "You've humiliated us enough." Liam stepped between them. "Don't touch her." Edward turned red. "You'll regret this." "Maybe I already do," Liam said quietly. Edward raised his hand again, not at Liam this time, but at Amelia. And before Liam could think, his fist connected with Edward's jaw. The man fell. It was over in seconds. But the sound of that fall stayed with them. Amelia gasped, kneeling beside her father. "Dad? Dad, wake up." He groaned faintly, blood trickling from his lip. He was alive. But Amelia's hands were shaking. "What have you done?" Liam's voice broke. "He hit you." "I didn't mean to." "Go," she whispered. "Just go." I can't leave you here. Please, Liam. Her eyes filled with tears. Just drive. Now, back in the car. The city lights flickered in the distance. Amelia's phone buzzed non-stop, but she couldn't look. Liam finally pulled over near the bridge where they first kissed. He leaned his head against the steering wheel. I've ruined everything, he muttered. Amelia looked at him, really looked. For the first time, she saw the boy behind the man, scared, hurt, lost. Liam, she whispered, touching his arm. You didn't ruin everything. We both did. He shook his head. You were supposed to have a good life. Not this. Not me. Don't say that. I was trying so hard to be better, he said, voice cracking. To prove that I'm not who they think I am. Tears filled her eyes. You are better, Liam. You always were. For a long time, neither of them spoke. The rain softened, falling gently now, like the sky had finally stopped screaming. Amelia's phone buzzed again. She looked down. A message from her mother, Dad is okay. Police on their way. She froze. They're coming. Liam sat up straight, panic flashing in his eyes. Then I should go. I can't. Where will you go? He didn't answer. She took a deep breath, holding his hand. You're not running this time. He looked at her, eyes tired. You'd really stay after all this? Yes, she said softly. Because I still love you. He almost smiled, a broken, quiet smile. You shouldn't. I know, she whispered. But I do. Outside, the sound of sirens grew closer. They sat there in the rain, holding hands, waiting for what came next. And as the blue lights flashed against the wet glass, Amelia leaned over, resting her head on his shoulder. I'll tell them it was an accident, she said. Because it was. Liam's voice was barely a whisper. Even if they believe that, I'll still lose you. She closed her eyes. Maybe. But you'll know I never stopped loving you. He turned to her, kissed her forehead softly, and for a brief, fragile second, the world felt quiet again. The sirens stopped. Doors opened. Voices shouted. But inside that car, under the London rain, there was only love, painful, forbidden, and too real to fade. The morning came too soon. London was quiet, grey, and wet, the kind of morning that smelled like cold coffee and regret. Through the cracked window of the small flat in Peckham, Liam sat at the edge of the bed, staring at the rain sliding down the glass. The police had let him go, for now. They said Edward Hartwell was stable. A concussion, a broken jaw, nothing fatal. But an official statement would follow, and so would the press. He hadn't slept. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw Amelia, standing in that rain, tears mixing with sirens. He'd told her not to follow him home, but she did. And now, she sat across the room, wearing one of his shirts, quiet and pale. Do you want tea? She asked softly. He shook his head. No. She nodded, holding the mug with both hands, as if it could keep her from shaking. The silence between them was heavy, not angry, just tired. Finally, she spoke. The police called me this morning. Liam's heart sank. And? They said Dad's refusing to press charges. For now. He frowned. What do you mean, for now? She looked away. He told them he slipped. That it was an accident. Liam let out a long breath, rubbing his face. He's protecting you, not me. Maybe both of us. He chuckled bitterly. No. People like him don't protect people like me. Amelia flinched. Don't say that. It's true, he said quietly. You know it. She set her mug down and walked toward him. Her voice trembled when she spoke. Liam, what happened last night, it was wrong. But it doesn't erase everything we had. He turned to her. It changes everything, Amelia. You saw his face. You saw mine. You were defending me. I was losing control. Because you love me. He looked away. That's not an excuse. She sighed, tears threatening again. Then what are you going to do? He didn't answer. He didn't have one. Outside, the city was waking up, buses rumbling, shops opening, people rushing to lives that didn't involve heartbreak or police visits. Liam stood, pacing the small room. They'll come for me, eventually. He'll change his mind. Men like your father don't let things go. Then we'll go somewhere else, she said quickly. We'll leave London. Start over. He turned to her, half smiling. You think it's that easy? It doesn't have to be easy. Just real. Her voice cracked on that last word. And for a moment, he believed her. He imagined it, a small town by the coast, quiet mornings, no judgment, no history. Just her. But reality came crashing back. Amelia, you're not built for running. She blinked, hurt. You think I'm weak? No. I think you're too good for this. He walked to the window, watching the rain. When I was inside, he said softly, there was this older bloke, used to tell me, no matter how much you clean your hands, some dirt never comes off. I didn't get it then. I do now. She crossed her arms. You're not dirt, Liam. He laughed quietly. Tell that to your dad. Her eyes filled. I don't care what he thinks. But you should. Because when this all blows over, you'll go back to your life. And I'll still be the guy who hit your father. She shook her head. Stop pushing me away. I'm not, he said softly. I'm setting you free. A single tear rolled down her cheek. I don't want to be free. I want you. He turned to face her, his own eyes red. Amelia, you're the best thing that ever happened to me. But sometimes love isn't enough. Don't say that. It's true. She stepped closer, her voice trembling. You think walking away will make it easier? Because it won't. He didn't answer. He just looked at her, memorizing her face, the way her hair stuck to her skin, the faint freckles under her eyes. Then he reached out, brushed a strand of hair from her cheek, and whispered, You deserve better. She caught his hand before he could pull away. Then be better with me. That broke him. Tears finally fell, silent but heavy. I can't, he said. Not after last night. Not with the way your family looks at me. You'll end up hating me one day. She shook her head fiercely. Never. There was a knock at the door. Both froze. 3 slow knocks. Then silence. Amelia's voice quivered. Who is it? Liam didn't answer. He already knew. He opened the door slowly, 2 officers stood outside, their expressions calm but firm. Liam Clark. He nodded. You're wanted for questioning in connection with an assault that occurred last night. Amelia stepped forward. It was self-defense. My father. Ma'am, one officer interrupted gently, we just need him to come with us. Liam raised a hand. It's fine. Amelia's grip tightened on his arm. No, Liam. Please don't go. He looked at her, smiling faintly through the pain. It's okay. I'll tell them the truth. Liam, you'll go back inside. He shook his head. Not if they hear your side too. She started crying. I can't lose you again. He cupped her face in his hands. You won't. You'll just have to wait a bit longer. Then he kissed her, slow, desperate, like it might be the last time. The officers waited quietly by the door, respectful, almost sad. When he finally pulled away, he whispered, Take care of yourself. And then he was gone. Weeks later, spring came to London, soft and quiet. The papers had moved on. The Hartwell family never pressed charges. Liam was released after questioning, no record, no charges. But he didn't go back to the flat. He disappeared. Amelia went back to work at the gallery. To everyone else, life returned to normal. But she knew it hadn't. Every time it rained, she thought of him. Every time she passed that small café near Waterloo, she half expected him to be there, sleeves rolled up, making someone else's coffee. One evening, months later, as she closed the gallery, she found a letter slipped under the door. No name. No address. Just her name on the front, Amelia. Inside was a short note, "I'm sorry for everything I broke. But you fixed something in me no one else could. If I could start again, I'd still find you under that London rain. L." Amelia read it 3 times, tears falling freely this time. She folded the note carefully, slipped it into her pocket and stepped outside. The city lights shimmered in puddles, buses passed, people hurried home. Above it all, the rain began again, soft, familiar, endless. She smiled through her tears, because even if he was gone, she could still feel him in it, in every drop, every streetlight reflection, every whisper of the city they once called theirs. Love didn't end that night. It just changed shape. And beneath the London rain, it still lived, quietly, painfully, beautifully.